Let's talk about the peptide that'll make you use your fat as energy without going through ketosis and without fasting, just straight cutting to the chase. That's right, I'm talking about MOTS-C, that is MOTS dash C. MOTS-C, it's a peptide, and we're about to talk about it. Yo, my name's Juan Gonzalez, just another gym guy, and I ain't certified in a goddamn thing. And on these science videos, it's even more important to say, and I ain't certified in a goddamn thing. But you're listening to me. I'm just your average Joe, gym guy. I love to do research science. I do have a bachelor's, but it's got nothing to do with this. That being said, let's talk about MOTS-C. So yes, I will be experimenting on myself.
Wait, what?
Let me talk about the peptide, or at least what we know about it. So I'm talking about MOTS-C. That's MOTS-C. It's a peptide. You can watch my peptide intro video in which I explain to you what peptides are, how you take them, whether they're natural or not, and the fact that they're not steroids and the differences thereof. All the science behind it's in there, so I would expect you to watch that. It's a 12-minute video before you watch this if you don't understand what a peptide is. But yes, I'll be experimenting on myself with MOTS-C. But first you need to know what AMPK is. AMPK is essentially the enzyme in your body that triggers and tells yourself to start using fat for energy. So like when your energy is low, instead of using sugar and carbs, it's what says, all right, we're going to burn this fat. It's the enzyme that people are trying to activate when they either do ketosis or go into fasting. It is a mitochondrial-derived peptide. It's linked to energy metabolism, insulin sensitivity, fat oxidation, endurance signaling. On the street, they like to call it a metabolic optimizer. All right, what's that all mean? Shit if I know. No. Basically, to return to what I said at the beginning of this, it does all those things, and what that equals out to is it uses your fat for energy. Metabolic optimizer. Get it? Except you don't need to fast and you don't need to do keto to get there. So why am I testing it on myself? Because mostly all the data that we have from MOTS-C just comes from animal testing, like mice, rats. It's kind of hard to bump that up to human scale without human testing. So we do know that these peptides signal your body to boost the metabolism in a way where it's going to use fat for energy. But the numbers behind it aren't too clear. How well does it work? How much do you take? How long would it take to see any sort of results? Is there going to be fatigue that comes along with it? So yes, I'm using it on myself. This video series is more of a documentation, me researching, me taking the risk. It is not a recommendation. I am not telling anyone out there to go do it. Why do I feel like I'm in a good spot to do it right now? Well, everything about my regimen is pretty structured. I mean, I already train, I already lift, I already do cardio, and I track my body composition, and I get DEXA scans regularly. So that's like the scans of my body. I know how much muscle, fat percentage, so on and so forth. Last week I went and got a scan right before I started this. This is technically the end of my first week starting it. This is Friday, and these videos are probably going to release not in tune with where I'm at. You'll probably be a week or two after me as you're watching this. I did get a body scan. We'll be able to compare that in future videos. We can use a scale to update. I'll let you know how I'm feeling. I'll show my own body off. We can see if there's any changes. I'll be doing this for 5 to 8 weeks. So at the end of the 5 to 8 weeks, if there's a drastic change, that doesn't seem like the normal change I would have over that amount of time in a cut period where I'm only doing a negative 500 deficit per day. I'm keeping my regimen the same. The only difference would be on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday when I wake up to do cardio and lift. I'm going to be taking the MOTS-C 5 milligrams because it's just recommended that you do it on that morning fast, and that working out fasted while you're on it multiplies it times 12. Where do they get these numbers from? Exactly right. They haven't even really researched it on people, but there's a lot of people out there who do take it. I don't know if I'm going to get in trouble for doing this online. I don't think I should. It's my own body. You know, you do you. But yeah, so I feel like even though I can't clone myself and have another me doing the same thing without the MOTS-C to actually have a real experiment, I do have a lot of different baselines I can look at and compare. Like if it blows it out of the water and I drop fat percentage super fast, then we know it was the MOTS-C. All right? Because everything else, I can compare to old DEXAs and everything. So we'll get down to this. We will figure it out. Follow me on my journey. So just to be clear, starting off, I'm not claiming anything about this peptide other than what the research already shows online. And even then, like I said, it's for animals. So I'm not saying this is fat loss magic, although I may have a clickbait short for it. I'm not saying that this is going to replace your training, and I'm not saying it's going to work for everyone. And I am definitely not saying you should take it. I'm just saying, want to watch a guy be a guinea pig? Shit, watch my series then. And of course, go watch that intro video on peptides so you kind of have a better idea of what I'm doing and you don't think I'm such a big idiot. All right, so I guess that's it. Kind of a short video, just to get us kick-started. Obviously, please subscribe, follow, let your friends know. Look at this guy, he's an idiot. He talks about idiots in the gym all the time, but he's about to be sticking himself. And next week we'll do a check-in. Start doing these check-ins. I'll have shorts to go with the videos. The shorts are to draw on the other people who didn't watch the intro. No, like, you know what I'm saying? They're gonna be like, what? Clickbait. Yeah, so I ain't gonna lie, I'm not too sure how to close this video off other than by saying, let's just see what happens, guys. I'm just your average Joe, just another gym guy. I do have a bachelor's, but it's got nothing to do with this shit. See you later. Thanks for watching. Wish me luck. What's MOTS-C? Well, MOTS-C is a mitochondrial peptide. It's often referred to as MIME-TAC, a metabolism booster, and a fat loss adjacent. It's talked about a lot.